dinosaurs. If you guys want to know which one's which, point and I'll tell you their story. This big one, well, this is the more infamous teeth here at Jurassic Park. This is the tooth of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now, if you guys want to, feel right here. You can feel as well, don't worry. Would you like to feel right here? Would you like to? Excellent. That bumpy side right here is called serration. Now, T-Rex wasn't really known for their table manners. They couldn't really use a fork and knife in order to chop up their steak. So instead, over the course of millions of years, they evolved this serrated edge. So that way, whatever they bit into, they could easily tear a chunk of meat out. Another fun fact about T-Rexes is that they had one of the strongest bite forces of any land-based creature. They had a bite force of 12,600 psi. Now, to put that into perspective, the American alligator has a bite force of 2,000 psi. So that means the T-Rex has a bite force 6 times stronger than that of a gator. So that's crazy to think about. Do you guys know why Amber's so important to us here at Jurassic Park? Alright. You know? Because their mosquitoes can have dinosaur DNA. What we do is extract the dinosaur DNA from the mosquitoes, and that's how we get our dinosaurs here at Jurassic Park. This mosquito in particular actually helped us with our river compies. If you guys don't know what a river compy is, they're usually about a foot tall, they're green all over. They're actually a part of the Jurassic Park River Adventure. So if you guys ever go on Jurassic Park, the river tour, they're usually playing tug of war. They're green all over. That's our river compies, and you can thank this mosquito for all its hard work. The mosquito's already been extracted from there, but we still. These aren't horns; these are claws, and this is a claw of a Utah raptor, found, funnily enough, in Utah. Now, usually when you think of the word raptor, you think of our velociraptors. But our velociraptors aren't true raptors. They take a lot of DNA and inspiration from the Utah raptor. Utah raptors were big. They stood around 6 feet tall. They had big claws, as you can see right here, as well as having scales instead of feathers. Now, the reason why I call a differentiation is because our velociraptor, which there's a statue right over there that you can see, is pretty much very similar to the Utah raptor. Now, our velociraptors stand around 6 feet tall, they weigh 500 pounds, and can run up to 65 miles per hour. That's pretty darn fast. But they didn't always look like that. This is what a velociraptor used to look like 80 million years ago. Now, in comparison, they were a lot smaller, a lot shorter, and a lot less intimidating. They stood around 3 feet tall. They weighed only 100 pounds and were covered head to toe in feathers, kind of looking like a chicken, like a big feathery chicken. So when Mr. Hammond thought velociraptor, which is a good name, literally translating to swift thief, wow, we should have that in our park. It is such a cool name for a dinosaur, and it's just a chicken. So with the help of Dr. Henry Wu as well as his Geneticist team, have created our velociraptors that we all know and love today. This big one? Okay. This is the largest piece here of the fossil card. This is the upper beak of a Triceratops. Now, the Triceratops was probably one of the most successful species of herbivore to ever walk the earth. They outnumbered all other dinosaurs during the late Cretaceous period 5-1. Now, why are we so confident in saying that? Well, that is because we have found a mountain of Triceratops fossils from around the world. There's a lot of Triceratops fossils, and so we can calculate that they outnumbered all other species 5-1. Meaning, for every 1 T-Rex you saw during the late Cretaceous period, you saw 5 Triceratopses. With their resilience, their pack tactics, and strength, they were probably one of the last species of dinosaurs to go extinct during the Great Extinction Event. But I'm glad that we brought that up. That is a footprint of a theropod. I don't know specifically, but I can make a guess. Theropods are the family of dinosaurs closely related to modern-day birds. They usually stand on 2 feet, and dinosaurs, Archaeopteryx. There's a whole family of dinosaurs in that, in there. This is a part of a vertebrate, which a vertebrate is one piece of a spine. And this is from a sauropod. You guys know what a sauropod is? What's a sauropod? I'm about to say, if you guys don't know what a sauropod is, look no further than right behind you. That's an Alpatosaurus, and this was one piece of its spine. Now, you guys know what a spine is. It's the thing right here along your back. This is just one part of it. It's bigger than my head. Yet this was used with several other pieces in order to help that dinosaur raise and crane around its neck. Any other questions you may have? This is the skull of a Dilophosaurus. Now, the reason why we don't have Dilophosauruses here at this park is because after the first documentary, our Dilophosaurus, we realized, was so scientifically inaccurate that we could not make more. Reason why: it had frills along its neck. Number two, it never spat acid. So we were majorly wrong. We're gonna stop production on the Dilophosaurus. This right here is Archaeopteryx. Can you guys say that? Archaeopteryx is basically, it literally translates to old wings. Now, a long time ago, in 1865, American scientists discovered this dinosaur, and we were confused at first. Because at that moment in time, scientists all thought dinosaurs were lizards, and scientists thought that they were only lizards. So we were confused, because there was this darker part of the stone and this lighter part of the stone. This lighter part of the stone is fossilized feathers. So, these feathers threw scientists off, because why on earth would a lizard have feathers? Lizards should not have feathers. The only animal who's ever had feathers are birds. So why would a dinosaur have feathers? Unless it's a bird. Theory arose, and then that theory was proven true. That dinosaurs are indeed birds. In fact, the closest living descendant of the T-Rex is the modern-day chicken. Yes, folks, you heard me right. The modern-day chicken. Think about that the next time you're eating your dinosaur chicken nuggets. Maybe with 100% real dinosaur. This, I can do a couple more. This is the egg of an oviraptor. Now, this is one of the funniest stories to me for dinosaurs. Oviraptor literally translates to egg thief. And a long time ago, when scientists first discovered it, they found a completely fossilized oviraptor, as well as this egg in its jaws. Now, when scientists first saw this, they thought this dinosaur was trying to steal an egg before an extinction event occurred. Therefore, we shall call it oviraptor, egg thief, because it's trying to steal these eggs. Well, as time progresses and as we get better understanding of things, we kind of learn two things. Number one, the egg in its mouth and the nest of eggs around it was not from any other species of dinosaurs. In that time period. So what, would it be cannibals? No, in fact, they were loving parents. This was its own egg. It was trying to protect the egg from the extinction event. Unfortunately, they don't have opposable thumbs like you or I, so they couldn't just pick up the egg. So they had to carry it in their mouths. So it wasn't an egg thief. Well, we learned another thing as well. They aren't technically raptors. They aren't a part of the raptor family of dinosaurs. They aren't a part of the dromaeosaur group of dinosaurs. So if they haven't steal the eggs and they aren't raptors, what do we call them today? You guessed it, oviraptor. Scientists have not bothered to change the name. So the egg thief has been, the name still sticks, even though, you know, it's not an egg thief. Glad. I'll just say, if you have any other questions about any of these fossils, feel free to point. That is Coelophysis. Coelophysis is, it doesn't have really anything majorly special about how it looked or how it functioned. It's a real fossil, because we always want to make sure that we show off the real stuff to the guests. Unfortunately, the only thing that isn't real 100% is the Dilophosaurus skull. That is because we used to have it used to be a real skull. However, someone picked it up, didn't put it down properly, it smashed, no good. So that's why we want to make sure that we're careful hands, and we're either pointing to the pieces or letting the professional handle it. But yes, Coelophysis was probably one of the first dinosaurs to ever walk the earth. Coelophysis doesn't have anything else besides the blueprint of most creatures for the Triassic period, then the Jurassic, and the Cretaceous, then everything went away. Happy birthday! No problem. Alright folks, any more questions? This is Giganotosaurus' tooth. Now, Giganotosaurus was one of the largest land-based carnivores to have ever walked the earth. Now, here's the big thing. Just because he was bigger than T-Rex, that doesn't mean he was better. And only had a bite force of around 5,600 psi, which in comparison to T-Rex, the T-Rex had a bite force of 12,600 psi. So, needless to say, the T-Rex was a lot stronger in the bite department. Another thing that we have learned as well is, through scientific studies, we have reconstructed the brain of a Giganotosaurus by looking at the skeletal structure. And we have determined that the brain of the Giganotosaurus was approximately the same weight, same shape, it was probably the same weight and same shape as that of a banana. Yes, folks, you heard me right. The largest land-based carnivore who has ever walked the earth was literally a banana brain. Well, just because it's bigger doesn't mean it was better. Any other questions, folks? That is Archaeopteryx. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. I mean, chickens can be mean, but I think I would much rather take on a chicken than that. I'm about to say, with a tooth like this, I would handle a chicken any day of the week. Any other questions, my friends?